Hello and welcome to MetalVice in 666. I'm your host Brian, joined with the other host,
Karen.
And we are going to do another Karen's Pick.
Yay.
It's been a bit that we've done one of these.
A little bit, yeah.
We have a lot of these to get through, so there'll probably be a few more popping up here and there.
Yeah,
but
we're trying.
We've got a stack about 6 or so, or 7 or 8 or so here that we need to get through. So here it is, another one. These are going to be out of order because we can't remember when the fuck we got them.
One, we can't remember when we bought them, or also where we bought them.
This one, though, we can kind of sort of guess because in the upper right-hand corner here, we have that you paid 12 euros for this.
Yes.
It's used, it's pressed in Belgian, and it is black metal.
Yes.
According to the label.
I believe I got this at the record shop in Limerick.
Do you remember the name of that?
5 seconds.
5 seconds. We'll take a pause.
It was called Steamboat Music.
And that was like right on the river, if I remember correctly.
Yep. In Limerick, Ireland. I just said Limerick before,
yeah. I remember I went there one day when you were at work. I had lunch, so I went and grabbed lunch break. I went and grabbed lunch, and then I walked over there, checked it out. Really cool spot. They had a lot of vinyl to pick from, as well as instruments as well.
Yeah, they had a lot of metal too, if I remember right. They had lots of instruments. Really cool little shop.
I liked the shop a lot. Yeah,
their hours were a little wonky.
It was, yeah.
Because I tried the first time I tried to go was, I took the bus back after dropping you off at the airport. Because you flew out in and out of Dublin.
Yep. So
I took the bus back, and they were closed. I don't know if they closed already for the day or if they were just closed that day, because it was a Sunday. And then I went again. I kind of left work early so I could go.
Right, because they closed at like 5 p.m. I think a lot of shit closed.
It did
early, like 5 to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Like people don't go out and shop late at night.
Right. So like basically, work hours are work hours.
Yeah, which is cool. It's a different culture and whatnot.
It is totally.
We did a vlog, or we have recorded stuff for a vlog. I think I recorded this place. It will be on that vlog at some point. I'm sorry. I need to get better at this.
We're working on it.
But that's going to be one that we post at some point in the future. But in any case, to the album for the Karen's Pick, what do we have? Who's the band and what's the album?
We have Ars Veneficium from Belgium. The album is The Reign of the Infernal King.
So when this started, it sort of had this sort of doom metal, kind of tribal metal, slow build up sort of vibe to it.
I even asked you, like, is the record player, like, is the volume on?
Yeah, and I was like, fuck, this is awesome. We're going to get some more, like, tribal metal here. But as soon as that was over, it went into, like, heavy fucking black metal.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of, like, what I would expect for, like, Behemoth.
Yeah.
I got a lot of Behemoth vibes listening to this, for sure.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. I think Behemoth is always the black metal that we always compare everything to.
Yeah.
But that was like kind of the first black metal that we listened to few years ago. So many years ago, probably now 10 years ago. I don't know.
Really cool sort of jacket this came with. Just a sort of like old school sort of sketching, sort of black and I guess orangish sort of vibe to it. But this dude in the cloak, you have some people begging at his feet and whatnot on the front. Really cool sort of art and whatnot. I love the art with the trident and everything. Lots of detail, lots of cool things with this cover, which that would definitely make me pick it up as well.
Yeah, because that's normally how I pick albums, is based on the cover.
Flip it over onto the back, you have sort of the two cauldrons and what looks like maybe an altar or something, where you have the script writing of what the album, like the tracks are and everything, which you definitely get that intro, which I think again is that tribal sort of build up and whatnot.
You're saying tribal. I don't remember tribal in it. It's just like a slow, quiet build up.
And I think that's why I was thinking more tribal, because it was slow, quiet build up with few drawn out sort of very droney sort of instruments and whatnot. And therefore I expected more of the tribal stuff going into it. So I keep saying tribal. It's not necessarily what I mean, but to me that was the vibe listening to it and whatnot. So cool intro though. I did like it. And then went straight into the music. There's a track on the front and the back on side A and side B. I think it's the last track on the front, and I don't remember where it is on the back.
Yeah, so the front one, I think you're talking about extinguished are the candles of holiness.
And the other one on the back, I don't know what it is, but they both have like spoken word elements to them.
Yeah, I want to listen to that again.
I really liked those songs.
Yeah, I like that a lot too.
The spoken word, and then it went like right into the music. I loved that sort of intro into those songs.
Yeah, I want to listen to that again and kind of like hear what they say again and stuff. So yeah, I really like those two.
And then sort of like the album itself, just a plain black pressing, but cool little art with the snake eating its own tail on, I believe, side A, and then side B has this weird sort of symbol written on it and whatnot. Again, like a little tribal, runey, very runey. I don't know. I enjoyed the album. Those two tracks, like I said, with the spoken word, stood out to me the most. Other than that, to me, it was very generic black metal. Nothing stood out necessarily for me. I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, but it was sort of like, I've heard black metal, I've heard this. It's very similar to everything else I've heard.
I guess I would agree there with you, but again, I'm not like too versed into black metal to know like where this might differentiate. I think with a lot of black metal, the differences come with the lyrics and stuff like that. So obviously we only listened to this once. Maybe did we listen to it when I brought it home? I don't think so.
We did. No.
I think this is literally the first time.
This is the first time we listened to it. Yeah.
So I think if you if we listen to it again, we might pick up on some little differences. I mean, with the spoken word parts, like that's totally different. I've not seen that before. I mean, in an album before. Well, I've seen it in albums before, but it's not like a common thing. So. Yeah, I get what you're saying though. Like the whole musical part of it kind of sounds similar. So.
And I think that's a good way to say it too. Is like we're not very versed in this particular subgenre of metal. I do really enjoy black metal, especially at concerts and stuff. So going to
especially with that imagery and like the vibe and everything.
Milwaukee Metal Fest. There's always a good number of black metal. Decibel always had some good black metal. So like there's good black metal that comes through town. It's not the most prominent metal by any means. So I do love going to those shows. And honestly, a lot of the black metal to me when I go to them, it's that similar vibe to me. Everything is very, not cookie cutter, but it's all sort of like, it sounds very similar to me.
Like you know what you're going to get.
But like you said, if we listened to it more and got more versed into it, the nuances would probably stick out to us for sure. The nuances for me were definitely those spoken word parts. That not something that comes up that often for me when I listen to black metal. So seeing that here, hearing that here, that made me like stop and like think for a second, like, oh, this is nice. Like pay closer attention to those tracks. So.
I think it was the same way for me because like I didn't zone out. I shouldn't say that. I was still listening to it, but like as soon as that came, I was like, like let me really listen to this.
This is different. This is new. What's going on
here? So
it
does kind of like pop that out to me as well. So.
And it's kind of cool because like. By this point in the album, especially that first track or that first side with the last track, that you kind of know what you're in for the music. So now it's like, all right, at what point does the music come in and how's that going to tie in? I know what kind of sound I'm going to get. Like, I don't know. It was really cool. Good anticipation build for me listening to that bit.
I really want to listen to the album again also because I feel like the last track like kind of ended it. Like I had that feeling. Granted, I didn't know that it was the last track. I just kind of guessed it was. But like I feel like there was a part to it that kind of just seemed like an end.
Like the whole thing was coming to an end, and like this was a good way to tie it all up.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if the album is like concept in some way where it's like this is the end, because sometimes you can tell that with some concerts, depending on how they're put together, like you know that this song is going to be the end. I mean, if you're not talking about like a band that plays like their heaviest song or their most popular song or something like that at the end.
I could definitely see that now with that first intro track, like I'm saying, like being very slow and drawn out in sort of the intro. And then going into the last track on the first side with that spoken word bit into the song. And then at some point, it may have been the last track on the second side as well, where you start with that spoken word intro and then go into it.
Yeah, I can't remember what song that was. But I just remember like listening to this and being like, I think this is the end. Like it just had that feeling. So
I could see that for sure. Yeah. Okay.
Definitely something I want to check out again, or like play again. Seems like that they're they've been around since 2013. This came out in 2017. Okay. I don't know if we said that or not. This came out in 2017. So I've never heard of them before. So I don't know if they've been to the States or not, but
this was a cool find. I'm glad we got this. I enjoyed it a lot. Like I said, definitely something to like listen to again. And I like black metal. I just need to listen to more of it and get more and like versed in it.
I remember we went out to dinner with some friends of a friend, and like he was really into black metal, and he was saying all these black metal bands. Now I'm like, okay, like I can't remember all the bands that he was saying, but I'm like, okay, if we like this, like maybe there's something else, or if we one of the bands that he says, like maybe there's something else. So it's like it just grows on, like the genre just grows.
Honestly, the most I listen to black metal is when we go to those concerts, Decibel, Milwaukee Metal Fest, or when we add them to our playlist after seeing them at a show, and then it comes up on shuffle.
Yeah, I think that's part for me too, because I don't really know black metal bands to like search out on Spotify.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a problem that I have, that I need to, expand a little bit, but
yeah, this could be a good one to start with. Start with this and see whatever pops up. Yeah. All in all, a great album. 12 euros. This was fucking a great price. Yeah. Great album for that money. I'm happy you got this. This was a lot of fun to listen to.
It did say on like Metal Encyclopedia, whatever that metal encyclopedia type website, that there's only 500 of these albums.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So.
Oh, fun.
So I don't know if that was just the first release was only 500, or if there are only 500.
I don't know.
I don't think it's like numbered, right?
No, it won't be numbered. Probably.
Yeah, but that's awesome.
Like stamped.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. No, this was a great find. Yeah. I'm glad we listened to it.
Yeah, I can't wait to travel to Europe more and buy more albums. No, that's not happening very much, but
that's kind of the fun thing. And then the fun thing going out to these shops and whatnot is just find what you can see there, and go for the cheaper shit that isn't mainstream, that maybe was sitting on the shelves for a while, and we're going to pick it up, give it a shot. We've done this before. We found some that were sort of like, that's not the greatest.
Yeah, that we probably won't pick up again.
And we found some that are like, holy shit, that was fucking awesome. This is closer to the holy shit, that was fucking awesome vibe for me.
Totally something that I'll listen to again. I definitely want to listen to those 2 tracks again. So
yeah, at least.
More likely we have to listen to the whole album again to remember. Oh, well, we know one track, but to find the second track.
But that's the awesome part to listening to an album. You have to listen to it start to back.
Exactly.
You don't have to, but that's the best way to listen to them. In any case, there you go. That's Karen's pick. We like this one. Like I said, we have a whole lot more coming. Can't wait to see what we find. Hopefully it's as good as this. We'll see.
Bye.